fantabulous episode for y'all today, whenever you are watching this. Oh, let me tell y'all, this Women's Spotlight, y'all, these business have been fire. You're not going, I'm trying, look, I don't even know what to tell you. All I can say is you better stay tuned. And whenever you see something popping up about this Women's Spotlight, you better jump on, because I tell you, these women have been fire. But let me tell you, if you don't get some good tips, they've been dropping nuggets on top of nuggets on top of nuggets. Y'all, I don't even know what to tell you to expect. All I can do is say, sit back, cross your legs. No, don't cross your legs. Get you some pen and paper. Oh, and you know, like the old school used to say, put that seatbelt on, baby, because we're getting ready to go through some turbulence. It's getting ready to go higher and higher and higher. And it's not going to be turbulence of badness, but turbulence of goodness. You're going to be like, oh, Lord, I need my seatbelt because I'm about to jump out this seat, because this knowledge they have been dropping has been fire. All right, so you didn't come on here to hear me tonight. So let me go ahead and get our guest in the space, honey. Let's go ahead and meet Miss Jana. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, everyone. Good evening, or good morning, wherever you are watching from.
I am so excited to hear about what you do and how you do it. And you know what look, just in your tagline alone, CEO, I follow up always. Let me tell you something. Isn't that how we leave money on the table? Because we ain't been following up. Yes. And I know that's what you're getting ready to talk about. I know you're getting ready to tell us about them coins we done left on the table because we didn't follow up.
Exactly.
So we're going to jump right in. I want you to tell the people who you are, what you do, how you do it. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get this party started.
Yes, I am Jana Devoe, and I am the follow-up coach. I follow up always. Is a foundational thing of following up with Christ, following up with yourself, following up with your family, from the top to parallel. And it has transcended into the marketplace as well as ministry. I am a mother, I am a tourism professional, a grant writer, and it all culminates and follows up into the line of work of I follow up always. So I am excited to share with women across the world this tonight with you, Coach Deborah.
Thank you so much. It is so phenomenal when you talked about follow-up. You said something really cool. You said something that about following up with Christ, following up with and then, a lot of times, do you feel like we're not where we are or could be because we are not following up with Christ?
Oh, yeah. Listen, for me, he is the CEO. He is the head, and we're just the stewardship of what he has given us. And once he drops that load on us or downloads to us what he needs for us to do, it's up to us to activate those things. And if we don't follow up with him first to get that direction, he knows the plans that he has for us. He is the lamp unto our feet. And if we don't walk and follow in those things, we're going to end up doing things on our accord. We're going to end up taking that long route like the Israelites.
Baby, and I can't be like them.
Not at all.
Think about it. They walked how many years? Like, 40 years?
40 years.
For something that should have taken 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Right. Just a few yards. That's right. All.
And so, even in follow-up with following up with our business, but how does following up let me back up and ask it this way. How much do you think we miss out on in life in general by just not following up? What do you think? What do we miss by not doing this?
Number one, time. We miss the time. We always talk about redeeming the time, backing up and being able to take advantage of those moments, those opportunities. And when we falter and fail to follow up with what we said we were going to do, our character and our integrity, becomes a little wavering. The foundation starts to destabilize. And so we have to really consciously make a conscious effort to make those follow-ups intentional. Intentionally take the time. If you say, hey, I've got a timeline, I'm gonna start this business, I'm gonna do it. I got a timeline, I'm going to start eating healthy, do this for myself. If I say I'm going to create a healthier prayer life, this is what I'm going to do. As a ministry and marketplace woman, you got to line everything up and you have to follow up. You have to document. You have to be, again, I can't stop using the word intentional. You got to be intentional about your follow up. And not miss out on the opportunity, because sometimes, God, like, you drag your feet, I got to go to somebody else who's willing and able and quickly able to activate what I have given to them in this time.
Oh, that is amazing. So I know I use intentional a lot, because when we aren't intentional, when we are not laser focused on what we're doing and how we're doing it, we tend to miss out. So how would you share with somebody, or what tip could you give about being intentional? What is like 2 or 3 of those major things? I know I heard you say scheduling, but I can make a schedule and not follow it. But how do I be intentional in really being able to execute the plan that I'm putting in place?
Yeah, first of all, you have to set fear aside. Fear paralyzes you. Fear of the unknown, wanting to know the next step, wanting to know the results of what it is that you are trying to do. We can write it down all day long, but we got to run with it. We got to run. And you got to have the heart. You really have to have the heart to want to see this thing come to pass. Your faith has to line up, making sure that it's fueled by faith, it's fueled by fire, it's fueled by the heart, that you are going to have this thing come to pass because you took the time to be intentional about following up with whatever it is that's concerning you. And we're talking about CEOs, in your business. You sometimes are the only person. You're everything. You're the secretary. You're the shipping and supplying department. You're everything sometimes at first. And people have to see that you're serious about what it is that has been given to you, so that they can come and run with that vision. Otherwise, you're going to be an employee in your business forever. And maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want to be the employee in your business, but I don't think that's the way God has it set up. I believe in the power of 12, and that's all about corporate work and spreading that which he has given you.
You better come on with that Habakkuk 2 and 2 and corporate work. I like that, because a lot of times we don't feel like we can be our own CEO for real. We call ourselves CEOs. We call ourselves the head of our business, but can we really see ourselves in the C-suite that we own? See, that's the thing. We see ourselves in that C-suite of everybody else's company, but do we see the C-suite of our own company? Now, and then some of these things that you're saying sounds like it's a mindset shift. So how can we start to, in the marketplace, especially in this, as being Christian business women, how can we start to change our mindset in order to incorporate what you were saying? We talk about write the vision, make it plain. That we could talk about Habakkuk 2 and 2, but you did one thing you did say that I love. You went on into 3, where we got to run with that thing. And so, how do we begin as Christian female entrepreneurs try to change our mindset of making that leap and really being able to do and create what we need to create?
Yes, it definitely is mindset as well. I come from a place of prayer. So to me, you're definitely praying and asking God, I need to have the mind of Christ. And you have to change your mindset. A lot of times it's generational things that have been taught to you that you're going to have to unlearn. Maybe you're the first in your family to ever do it. Maybe you're the first in your neighborhood. No one else around you has seen or heard or experienced that which is you're getting ready to birth or birthing. And so your mindset is, you got to realize that you got to be laser focused. You have to start there. You got to have mental toughness. Readers are leaders and leaders are readers. And so you got to be able to fill your mind with those things that are going to propel you forward in the endeavor that you're searching out for. And it's going to take some time. Sometimes it's just like deliverance. Sometimes it can be instantaneous. And then sometimes it takes one step at a time. a millisecond, every day going and saying not just an affirmation, but wholeheartedly believing that you can do it, wholeheartedly pulling down those thoughts of doubt, those thoughts of fear and activating it. And it is a mind shift set. When you're going from an employee to a CEO, you're going from a 9 to 5 to fully working in your business full time, if that's what you so desire, but in anything you do that's different than what you're used to or what you're seeing, you're going to have the mind to do it and lead it. It could be in your heart, but your mind can talk you out of the things of your heart if you allow it to.
Oh, absolutely. So we talk about our mind, we talk about our heart, we talk about being set up, we talk about having the mind of Christ. But what about that person that's listening to us that says, I tuned in because I know Deborah talk about everything on her show. I tuned in because I know Janae is all that in the bag of chips. But I don't know about what you're talking about with this mind of Christ and this doing this for Jesus. What, for that practical person. For
Yes.
that person that's tuning in and just ain't got to that point, they might know God, they might even go to church, they might even worship, but they don't know what it means to have, especially when we're talking about having the mind of Christ in our business. What does that look like, especially when we're talking about follow-up?
Yes. So for me, I'll share my personal. I have been in corporate America for over 26 years, especially in tourism. And a lot of times, just going through the ability of being either the only woman in the room or the only African American woman in the room, and are surrounded by corporate American, either Caucasians or a diverse level, I had to come strong. There were times that doubt would fill, and I'm like, you know what? Let me look at my capabilities. Let me line myself up. Let me look at what do I look like on paper? And what do I know about myself that I'm confident in? And be able to take that confidence to the boardroom and be able to speak in confidence and be knowledgeable and be also a sponge and take in that which is around me where I'm seated and being able to say, hey, yeah, I go to church. Yeah, I'm building on faith, but I'm in this world. I'm in this place surrounded by people that don't believe like I believe, don't talk like I talk, but the foundation is the same from the creator that created you. And you got to realize that you can press forth and open up your mouth and be confident, knowing that the gift that is within you is going to birth out of you when you're put in that situation. You got to follow up with yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You got to understand that you're not just sitting there by chance. You worked hard to get there. You did the work. You pulled in the hours. You went to school maybe and got the knowledge. And so now you got to get those things out because it wasn't just for you. You might have thought, oh, this is for me. This is to build me up. Okay, once you build up, are you bringing someone else up with you? Is it your family? Is it the people around you that you see are struggling? And so that follow-up is a strong foundation for individuals to be able to get themselves into a position so that they too can be successful. They too can see and receive the fruits of their labor in this season of their life.
I'm about to go over here, run, baby. I'm about to run, honey. I'm about to run. Let me clap my hands in the sanctuary. Because I'm trying to tell you, some people don't realize that it is not that hard. And that we are put in these corporate positions, in these different situations. And I feel like God puts us there so we can gain our knowledge. And then he makes us mad when we get there and make us angry when we get there. He lets that happen so we will go ahead and go out and live out our purpose. So what do you say to that? I'm tired of being in my job. But then, just like you said, I don't went to school for this. I got the degree for it. I've been working in these people's office for 900 years. I've been faithful. I haven't even sold paper clips. What do you do? How can I start to follow up with myself to get out and trust the process?
Activation. I mean, what did you do it for? What is your motivation? Is your motivation to gain wealth? Is your motivation to help other family members? Is it just, oh, okay, I did it. I did this. I'm good. What next? Are you one of those individuals that have to have instant gratification? Are you with the delayed? You're fine with delayed gratification. You really got to be sincere with yourself and ask, what am I really doing this for? Am I doing this for the people who bullied me in high school and I want to show them that I am somebody? Am I really showing this for the person who fired me from my first job and I want them to see that, hey, I'm greater than what you thought I was way back then? I'm following up because someone else behind me is now not stabbing me in the back, but I'm leading them somewhere. I got blinders on so I don't see the people beside me, and I'm looking straight ahead at the goal that I have in mind. And that's the follow-up. You have to go forward. You have to go up and continue to climb. And if you're going to come in this thing, it's not for the weak. People make it look glamorous, but they don't know the things on the backside of it, whether you're in corporate America or in ministry. Wherever it is that you're called to do, you have to put the work in. And the mental toughness has to line up. And after a while, you'll see your hard work paid off. Because, and listen, we say it all the time, faith without works is dead. People say, oh, you reap what you sow. Oh, karma. Whatever the words that they use, it falls back to the same foundation. You got to put some effort in. You got to be serious about the work that you're trying to do. And if you just falter and fail or get waverly, and you got to continue to start over, because sometimes you just can't pick up from where you left off from, because now that's gone. Now you got to really start at a higher level, or you got to go all the way back and get yourself back together. Your follow-up can sometimes cause you to have to start all over again. Build it once, you can build it twice.
You better preach here. Because so many times we look at our failure as a major setback. We don't look at our failure. We're supposed to learn from the mistakes. And just because, a lot of times, ageism has been in the news lately. A lot of times people feel like, oh, I'm too old for this. I'm too young for this. This should have happened for me back in my 20s, back in my 30s. But when you look back, could you have really handled that much success when you were that young? Could you have really handled that? Because I look at that, I'm like, no. So it's like we look at all of these things and we look at the follow-up. How do you get people to take that initial step in your process of training them or coaching them on how to follow up?
First I like to ask, what are their goals? What are their personal goals? Let's line it up. If you're one of those individuals that, well, I have a goal for my family and a goal for my business, a goal for this, goal for that. Great. Let's make it a SMART goal, so that you can take this and bite this elephant a little at a time. Some people, they want to look at the whole big picture. And so for me, I teach a good bit of small business entrepreneurs and then larger corporations who bring me in to train sales teams. And so we go from an aspect of, what's your goal? Is it a financial? We understand that you're here to make money. That's the end result, and hopefully a legacy relationship. I teach that we don't sell anything. We build relationships. And from that, we see a fruit in some form or matter, either investing or foundation of I like to call legacy relationships, where let's think about like Reynolds Wrap. I use that example all the time, or Lego or Tyco toys, and how Reebok and Nike, they build these relationships with influencers, and we know the names and the brand, but they're surrounded by other names and brands. And a lot of times the commercials get less and less, because people are striving off the things that they believe in these brands, and their sales are up. So why we got to do another commercial? A lot of times you don't see a lot of the cars on the televisions anymore for sale, because most of the cars now sell themselves, unless they're coming out with something extremely great with the brand and they want to let the world know, hey, this is coming, or hey, it's already here. The concept, you go to these concept shows. And so when I teach, I'm like, we got a lot to do. So I call it bubbles. We do these bubbles out. We get these goals together and we put a plan in place. A lot of people said, I'm terrible. I call someone and I want to use their product and they never call me back. Or someone calls me and they get all the information and they never call me back. I'm like, well, did you follow up with them? Did you get a timeline? Did you say, hey, how's Tuesday at 3 o'clock? I can follow back up with you and see how the product is doing. Or what do you want me to do? Or do you want to purchase it? Ask for the sale, those type things. And so we teach along those lines of how to follow up. We use, people say, well, I got a type of product that once they buy it, that's it. They might not buy from me ever again. Well, why not? We need that person to be able to sell for you. So we go from a social aspect and doing social retention. And how can we have that person now sell for you, but they're a mouthpiece spreading the word? How can we reward them for that? We go from another aspect of training the trainers. How can we repeat what it is that you're doing so that you can firmly sit in that CEO role and have other people really run that vision for you? And we train that. It's all about top line revenue. I follow up.
You said something right there. Top line revenue. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Lady, we have look, we got the plan to do this again when we got more time, but I'm trying to tell you, you killed it. I got to know some more about this, but we got one last question that we're going to ask, and then I want you to give your information on how people can contact you. The big question is, what does Church Girl CEO mean to you? And after you answer that, give us your contact information.
Yes, Church Girl CEO. Just what it says, ladies. You are foundational. You are the head. You are the legacy leaver. You are the generational curse builder, and you are standing firm in that role, be it in the foundation of church, be it a foundation of the marketplace. You are an overcomer. You can overcome a mountain of influence, or you're a disruptor in the market, showing that what it is in the inside of you can come out. So CEO, that is you. Run with it. Oh, as far as how you can find me, I am Jana Devoe. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram at The Craft of the Follow Up, or I Follow Up Always. ifollowupalways.com. So I look forward to connecting with you all. This is amazing. Thank you so much again, Coach Deborah, for having me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And y'all know how we do it. It's been fun. It's been real. I love you to life, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great one. See you soon.